Hello? Can you guys hear me now? Yeah, a little late. Sorry. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I had to reboot my Mac. And there we go. I think I got the loop back. It has returned. Hello? Hello? Can you guys hear me? Hopefully you can. Let's see. Check. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. When I reboot my Mac, the HDA doesn't reconnect all my audio, so I've got to go back through everything and reconnect it. Not quite sure why. But hopefully you guys can hear me now. He says, yes, I can hear you now. Excellent. Very cool. And like I was doing this with this table, this was, when the sound was off, this was an old wooden table that I sanded down, and my daughter found this Batman material. And I'm like, that would look good on this old table that I have. So I stapled it on there, and it looks really good. All right. So anyway, hopefully you guys are doing well. We're actually going to try to take a look at the mix effects. You know, those funny little things that you can insert on your buses or your main outs. I'm going to go ahead and try that with the song that we've been using for the past couple of live streams. Let's see if there's a difference. I don't use them much because I'm usually pretty happy with the sound that I have. So, but we're going to test it, and I should probably open up Studio One 7. For those of you who might not know, there is an update for Studio One 7.02. So you guys can go ahead. You guys should be able to find that in your account, or if you, I'll show you. I'll show you where to check in Studio One as soon as it opens. So, how is everyone doing? Is everybody ready for Christmas? We just got ready today. We set up our tree a couple weeks ago, and then I have my little studio tree right here. Then we did pretty much all of our shopping on Amazon. No crowds. No nothing. Most of the packages came in a couple of days. And, you know, I hate to give Amazon any money, but it is really just super convenient. So, yes, I knuckle to the pressure. So, all right, good. So I hope everybody is doing well. We've got 10 people in here. Let's go through the first on board here. We got Billy Morgan. We got Dwayne, 552. Good to see you. Kane Rock, very cool. He says, oh, this is at 7 Central? No, it's at 8. It's at 6 Central. It's supposed to be, but sometimes I have to start it at 7, so it depends on how late I have to work. Let's see. Tawankanu is back. Good to see you. Billy Morgan, Don Oliver, Bobby Booth. Good to see you, Bobby. Let's see if I can actually get this thing to move here. What are we doing here? Hold on a second. I'm not able to scroll. Let's see who else. He says, let's do the Philippines. Good to see you, Mike. Stephen Wilson and Just Bob is here. Good to see you. He says hello and good night. 3 a.m. comes early. Oh, yeah. I have a very similar shift, so I can totally understand that. And everybody, if you guys could, I would really appreciate it if you would like this live stream, subscribe to my channel, and if you go to Rumble to actually see some of my videos there, please hit the follow button. And if you guys could, Patreon is a good way to support what I do here. I don't qualify for really any support from YouTube just yet. I do get a little bit of ad revenue. You guys can also shoot me a super chat with a couple bucks if you want to support the channel that way. But just a like and a subscribe is good enough, and I really, really appreciate it. So let's go back to the show main. So mix effects. Does everybody know what the mix effects are? They're basically the fancy effects that you can put on the main out or any of the buses that have a lot of cool options. We're going to go through a bunch of them. So hopefully you're watching me on your studio computer where you can actually pull up the show on your studio monitors. And maybe, hopefully, you guys will be able to hear what I hear over here when we apply these things. There's some real huge obvious ones, and then there's some that, you can kind of hear, kind of not. And then there's a couple that really don't sound like what they describe, so we're going to kind of go through all of those. So very, very cool. Let's see, we have 12 people in here. Good to see everybody. And so far... Now, see, I can't see the likes. So if you guys could, I'd appreciate it if you'd let me know every once in a while how many likes we got. Love to get as many likes as we have people. So that sounds good. All right, so that's it. And you guys can see my console here. I've got the Atom, my Fader Port 16, and my Atom SQ. I don't use the Atom SQ as much as I would like to. I'm pretty much, in love with the regular Atom, and I'm going to be doing a couple of new videos on the Atom, some cool things that I found out, so you guys can go through them as well as the Atom SQ. So very good. Let's see. Dwayne says Mix Effects is the DSP in your audio interface. Okay, I'll show you what I'm considering the Mix Effects. So let's go ahead and jump to the classroom. I could be wrong, but I've always called them the Mix Effects. So let's see, let's go with these. I think this is the rendered one. Yeah, so this will be nice and easy on the CPU. Yeah, mix effects aren't as far as I know, mix effects are not the ones that come from your interface. But you might be right. Let's see. All right. So here's what I'm considering the mix effects. If you look above your main out or above any of your out of any of your buses or your main out, these do not come from your interface. These actually need to be installed in your Studio One, and they're extras. There's a couple. I think the console shaper is one that comes with Studio One. The rest, I think you have to purchase. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not 100% sure of that. But these are the mix effects that I'm talking about. So, for instance, if I play a little bit of this song, I'm going to play the chorus just so that you guys can hear what's going on. So you guys let me know if that is too loud, because I can always turn it down if you guys want. Alright, so that's the way the song sounds without any mix effects on them at all. Oh, okay, I stand corrected. Okay, I appreciate that, Dwayne. But no, there are, if you're using some of the PreSonus mixers and things like that, where you can use the onboard effects in your song. That's a whole different thing. I no longer use my my Studio Live. I still have it. It's packed away right now. I was thinking on selling it, but I'm not sure. But I don't have a room big enough now for it, and I like my HD8 anyway. All right, so let's see. CTC is free. Others you have to purchase or free with Studio One Plus. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. All right, so let's take a look at some of these different things. And I'm just going to put them on the main outs just to affect the whole mix. This would be something that you would put on if you're mastering. That's the way I use it, at least anyway. All right, so if I go down the line here, here is the Alpine desk. Oops, hold on a second. Let me take care of this. All right, here's the Alpine desk, right? Let's try it again. There we go. Alpine desk right there. There you go. Ooh, that looks nice. If nothing else, the plug-in GUIs look awesome. Makes it really nice. All right. So, with this, there each of the mix effects come with many presets, and it is a good idea to eventually go through them all. So let's see, for this particular one, I'm not sure if this particular one is good for mastering, so let's actually take a look at the preset options here. Let's see, Billy says, correct, the CTC is free, the others are purchased. He also says audio and video is good, or IDS. Not quite sure what he means by that. Dwayne says, I like the volume in my studio monitors. All right, great, perfect, because I usually keep it set the same. So let's see, let's just start with the first one, and let's see what that does. This is Characterizer. So I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to hit play, and then I'll turn it on. Here we go. And in the darkness, I still close my eyes. All right, I'm going to turn it on. 'Cause I still feel the darkness inside. And I can feel your touch, though you're not here. My sadness starts to disappear and go to the light. Everybody tells me, and then I embrace it. Nice. And then I hear that voice again. I never run away. Turn it on. I see your face and everything's okay. Oh, I don't like that at all. All right. So you heard some of the adjustments that I was making. I'm going to be completely transparent with you here and let you guys know that I really don't I'm not familiar with a lot of these adjustments here. So I was really just kind of going through things haphazardly. But I do want to point something out. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to take this off. I want you to notice. I want you to notice what the tracks actually reflect. So if you look here, these three little lines indicate if there's an insert, a send, or a mix effect. So you can see here on this particular channel, I have an insert on here. If I open it up, yep, there it is right there. And if this particular track was going to ascend, it would actually show up here as well. But look what happens when I actually put the mix effect on it. If I go back here and I say insert the Alpine desk, boom, you get this. So you've got these little indicators that tell you what is being processed. So this particular mix effect, the way that I have my song set up, is processing each of the tracks independently. So the mix effect, so one track with the Alpine desk is not being affected the same as another track. So if you guys understand how the mix effects work, and I don't really have a total grasp on it, but I've got a very basic understanding, is that the way that it works is the mix effect will affect all of the tracks in its own way. So they will be affected independently. It's not just one big, sound changer slapped on the main outs. I hope that makes sense. Now, one thing I don't know for a fact is since I have a mix bus here for the song, I don't understand what this half line means. And you can see here I've got a half line on this. So I'm not entirely sure what that indicates. If anybody knows, I would be happy to learn. So there you go. So you got that one. All right, so let's choose another mix effect. I'm going to choose one now that I know makes a huge difference in sound. I'm going to choose the Porta Studio. Now this, excuse me, this one is awesome, just like it says right there. It says awesome. And of course, to me, if I actually hit play, yes, the wheels turn. I don't know why that is so awesome to me. It is. Okay, so right now, I don't know if there's much of a difference here on the default. So let's actually go ahead and turn this off and hit play. And in the darkness, I still close my eyes. All right, I'm going to turn it on. I still feel the darkness inside. All right, so there's not really much happening with the default, but some of the ones that are in here that I'm familiar with really do a lot. All right, so let's start with the color options. I'm going to go with Effect 3. And I'm going to hit play. And in the darkness, I still close my eyes, 'cause I still feel the Let's go with bad storage. And I can feel your touch, though you're not here. Oh, it's got all sorts of reverbs in it. Bad storage, it's called. And in the darkness, I still close my eyes, 'cause I still feel the darkness inside. Wow, that is wild. So let's add a little tape hiss, shall we? So let's see. No, there's one that adds tape hiss. Got bad storage. All right, service needed. Let's see what this one does. And in the darkness, I still close my eyes. That's pretty major. That's pretty major. And in the darkness. All right, let's go with All In. And in the darkness, I have no idea what you would use that for. All right, Simply Wow. And in the darkness, I still close my eyes, 'cause I still feel the darkness inside. And I can feel your touch, though you're not here. My sadness. I liked this one. This one sounds very analog-y, but nice and clean. And in the darkness, I still close my eyes, 'cause I still feel the darkness inside. And I can feel your touch, though. Very cool. So you can actually hear the effect that it puts behind it. All right, so I'm going to do something. I'm going to go ahead and just go to an acoustic mix. And I want to see what the differences are with the sound quality. Oop, I'm getting my little basketball. There we go. Here we go. And in the darkness, I still close my eyes. Gonna turn it off. 'Cause I still feel the darkness inside. I'm gonna turn it on. And I can feel your touch, though you're not here.
sadness starts to disappear and
Are these new for V7 or can I find them in V6? Oh, they've been around for a while, so you should be able to get them for V6. Definitely available in V6. All right, let's go through a couple more. Let's see, Porta Mojo.
and in the darkness
That's too much.
close my eyes.
That is way too much. We definitely don't want that. Trying to see if there's another effect that I have on here that's causing that. I think that's the way they work now. All right, let's go back to default.
And in the darkness I still close my eyes.
So some of the things that you can add are things like drive.
And in the darkness I still close my eyes. 'Cause I still feel the darkness inside. And I can feel your touch though you're not here.
Oh, that's different.
My sadness starts to disappear and go to the light everybody tells me, and then embrace it.
So here's a noise gate and noise.
And then I hear that voice again. I never run away.
That's cool.
I see your face and everything's okay. I'll never ever let.
Okay, and then there's crosstalk. So what this is going to do is this is going to add some crosstalk between the tracks if you solo them.
And in the darkness I still close my eyes. 'Cause I still feel the darkness inside. And I can feel your touch though you're.
Okay, so I just turned up the crosstalk and I'm just soloing one track. So what should happen is we should be hearing some of the other tracks bleed through with this crosstalk setting.
And in the darkness
Yeah, see?
I still.
See, now I can hear a little bit of the guitar in the vocal breaks.
And in the darkness I still close my eyes.
If I turn this crosstalk down, you don't hear anything.
And in the darkness I still close my eyes.
Let's see what it sounds like just with the acoustic. Now, if you guys are listening on your systems, you'll hear a little bit out of the right-hand side, one of the vocals bleeding through. And as I turn that down, isn't that cool, though? How the mix effects interacts with the individual tracks. I think that is so cool to be able to do that. Let's see. Steve Mann says, I'm listening to you through my TV. Oh, theater soundbar. I'm wondering if you are using Dolby because it sounds really good. Oh, no, I'm not using any kind of Dolby or anything. I'm glad it sounds good. Now, Billy Morgan said something earlier, and I want to make sure. Okay, Traveling Alan. He actually says they come with version 7, but you have to purchase them separately for earlier versions. Yeah, they come with version 7. That's a good question. You know, I wish Johnny was here. He'd be able to know for sure. But yeah. Let's see. Billy Morgan says to add the mix effects to the bus and check the red LEDs. Okay, I can do that. So let's see. I do have a mix bus right here. And I'm not seeing. Oh, I know. Got to open up the window. Boing. There they are. So I'm going to take the mix effect off of the main out. And I'm going to place it on the mix bus. This should be controlling. Oh, is this just... Oh, this is just a vocal bus. I'm wrong. Oh, I'm not using... Oh, this vocal bus was when I had the separate vocal tracks. So this bad boy in this particular version doesn't need to be here. There we go. Now it's gone.
And in the darkness I still close.
So what if I created a mix bus? Now see, I do have an acoustic bus here. So, you know, this is always kind of touchy when you're actually creating a mix bus. Because, let's see here. So there's the mix effect. Okay, on this acoustic bus. I have to do this carefully because I have a bus here. So, let me think here. Gonna add a bus. There we go. There's a bus channel. So now I want to send. Let me think here. I haven't done this for a while here. I don't usually do a mix bus. All right, since these two acoustics are already going to a bus, I need to send this to a bus. So let me do this. Let me right click. Let me remove this. And I'm going to select this one, this one, this one. Whoops, nope, I don't want these. I have to do it this way. So this one, this one, this one, this one. Where am I? Oh, yeah. This one, and this one. So the only things that I'm not sending to a mix bus are these because it's already going here. So now I want to add a bus for the selected channels. Okay, so now this should be controlling the whole mix. And it does.
And in the darkness I still close my eyes.
Now I think if I expand this a little bit. So let's see. You know what's interesting? Okay. Ooh, did I miss one? I think I did. Okay, so this one, it indicates it's going to a bus. This one and this one. Okay, these aren't... I'm kind of wondering why I don't see the indicator of these two going to a bus. It's interesting. But they are. They're all going there. So that works. All right, so let's see if I solo these. Okay, yeah, they're going to the bus. I wonder why they just don't see the blue line on there. Maybe somebody knows, because I don't. I don't at all. Let's see, Steve Man. Oh, he's listening to his TV. Already got that. Let's see, Dwayne says, lol, your video window is upside down. My video window is up. Oh, it is. That's the problem I was having earlier. See, I had when I went to the main show page, I had to flip this upside down. Help! Hold on a second. Rump. Thanks for pointing that out. There we go. Is that better? I have no idea why it was upside down. No idea. Thank you for pointing that out. That's great. All right. I feel righted now. Nice. All right. So, Billy wanted me to actually put the mix effects on the mix bus. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to put the Porta Studio on the mix bus. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I'm just going to keep it on the default for right now, but look at the difference in the lights. They are yellow. Oops. There we go. They are yellow instead of red. Interesting. I stole his thoughts. Oh, that's Johnny Lipsham. Oh, dear Lord, what have we just walked into? Yeah, okay, so it is a little bit different. So, what I've done, as per Billy's suggestion, is I've put the mix effects on the mix bus instead of the main out.
And in the darkness, I still close my eyes.
Now, the cool thing about the default patch is now I can start fresh. I can add some crosstalk.
And in the darkness, I still close my eyes. 'Cause I'm still
There we go. So I've soloed the two acoustic guitars, and because of the crosstalk, and you might ask, why would you want to do that? And I think, at least in my opinion, it really kind of goes back to the old analog days, where you can actually hear some tracks bleeding through other tracks, and there's a cohesion kind of a sound that can happen. Sometimes it's distracting. And how many of you guys that have actually recorded on old analog gear re-record tracks because the damn crosstalk is just maddening? Or it is an issue with... that would be for tape bleed. Or if it's just the way your mixer works. I had a really old mixer where the crosstalk was unbelievable, but I still got good mixes out of it. Okay, so Billy Morgan, he says that those lights are red when using the main, and they're yellow when they're using a mix bus. Okay, that makes sense. Dwayne actually says in the wrench view, you can click the I/O connection box and help you see your channel paths. Really? Let me read that again. In the mix view. This is the mix view. Wrench. He says you can click I/O connections. Let's see here. I/O connections. I had them for a second. I wonder what happened. Oh, there they are. Oh. Well, isn't that nice? I often wondered where that went. I thought it was maybe just a change in Studio 1.6 a long time ago. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so in that great suggestion. Thank you for that. That is awesome. Let's see. Billy Morgan says exactly. Hence crosstalk. Correct. All right, that's nice. I like that idea, to be able to see where these tracks are pointing. So these are going to the acoustic bus, and then, of course, I'm going to rename this X bus. And there you go. So now it says that this bus is going to the mix bus right there. Nice. Do I have an icon for the mix bus? I don't think I have an icon. Others. Mix. Perfect. There we go. Oh, I've actually been using that. Nice. A pleasant surprise. There you go. All right, let me actually see what this is. I think this is coming from the VCA's input controls. Oh, those are the input controls. Audio device. There we go. I don't usually like to see my audio device controls, but I can make them show up if I want to. All right, so there you go. So that is how the mix effects work. It is. I think that I don't use them that often. I will admit that. I don't use them that often. But the thing that I do like about them, what I've specifically used them for is when I do a mix or a master for a client and they say, is there any way to slap a little analog sound or something different, change the sound a little bit? And what I'll do is I'll do a couple of mix downs with different mix effects and different presets on them. So that they can actually hear some differences. And usually, the one that I use the most for clients is the CTC1. And I'm not sure why people prefer it, but the ones that I've actually done mixes for and auditioned them with some of the presets on the CTC1, it's the one they go for their masters. So I think it's interesting. It really depends on what kind of mood I'm in. For my stuff, I don't put them on anything because I like the clean sound of my songs. So let's actually take one last look at one of the mix effects. Let's look at the CTC one. And let's choose a preset. I'm going to call it color. Ooh, that's nice. Not much. Ooh, that's nice. That one's got a little more crosstalk. Oh, that's nice. Listen to the whole mix with this.
I hear that voice again. I never run away. I see your face and everything's okay.
And you can hear what it adds to it with some of the instruments that are fading. It's cool. I love this stuff.
And in the darkness I still close my eyes, 'cause I still feel the darkness inside. And I can feel your touch though you're not here.
Oh, that's beautiful. Listen to that. Nice. So that CTC1 Classic is my go-to. Yeah, and it's so funny because when I send people the masters, when I use it, they can tell right away it's something that they like. So that pretty much confirms what you said, Billy. Let's see. Steve Mann says, do you think we notice even more change in Master Studio with these as opposed to the track suite? I don't know. That's a good question. I assume you mean the track suite. I assume you mean the main as opposed to the mix bus? Let me know, Steve. Johnny Lipsham is here. Johnny says, boy, I have missed JG saying X person actually says. Yeah, there were. Well, see, a lot of that stuff was noticeable by habit because I used to do a live stream every day. All right, you know what? That's a good question. I don't think the sound would change, seeing that it's a bus going to a basic bus. I consider the main out the final bus. So I don't think it makes too much of a difference. I don't think it should at all. Because the advantage of the mix bus, if you're actually doing full song fade outs and you have VST instruments, if you're using the CTC1 and you actually have a limiter or a compressor on the post of the main out, this isn't going to affect it negatively. If you're using the main out fader as a fade out, let's say you automate the whole song to come down. If you have a limiter or a compressor on the post, it's going to make it's going to sound wonky because you're actually not driving the post anymore. If you're going to be using the main fader as your song fade out, your last limiter or compressor should go on the insert so that you're turning everything down the same. Because if you have it here, you're feeding the limiter. If you have it up here, the tracks are feeding the limiter, not the main fader. I hope that makes sense. But it's a good question, Steve. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it would affect it. Holy cats, it's 6:47 already? Oh, man. Time flies when you're having fun. So there you go. Those are the mix effects. And let's say you have a standalone version of Studio One. By that I mean a perpetual license to where you don't get all of the fancy stuff, from Studio One Plus. Do you need all of these effects? Not necessarily, because the CTC1 is super, super powerful, and the CTC1 comes standard with the purchase version of Studio One. But if you're going to purchase anything and you really want to see how it affects your sound, I would definitely recommend purchase the Porta Studio, a Porta cassette. Because it has some really, really bizarre... Oh, you know what? I didn't show you guys one thing. Hold on a second. I'm actually going to replace this here. I'm going to go back to the Porta Studio. I have to show you the pitch. A lot of people don't know that this is available. Watch this.
So now you're standing here right by my side.
Okay, so now the awesome thing about this is notice it did not change the speed of the song. It only changed the pitch. This is awesome. If I was to actually create a vocal track, but since I have this on the mix bus, if I was to create a vocal track that does not go to the mix bus, I can change the pitch of the song to make a singer have an easier time. It's cool. It's cool. So what's the downside? Well, the downside is you would have to actually repitch everything after he's done with his track. But if you add the vocal track to the bus, I haven't done that yet. If you actually put the vocal track in the bus where you're actually adjusting the pitch and you sing to it, what's going to happen to the real voice? I don't know. I would assume it will pitch back up, but I think you're going to sound like a chipmunk when you do that. I don't know. But like if I test this theory with the vocal track, let's just do the vocal track. Let's see, where are we with the vocal? Here's the vocal track. I'm just going to, and I'm going to close. There we go. So the vocal track. So I'm going to go here.
And in the darkness I still close my eyes, 'cause I still feel the darkness inside. And I can...
You know, the great thing is, man, there's no artifacts. There's no, it it sounds wrong because when you usually pitch things, it's going to affect the tempo. But in this case, it only affects the pitch, and the tempo does not change. You can see that if you look at the tempo here. If I raise it up and down, you can see that the tempo is not changing, but the pitch is. But listen to how smooth it is.
And in the darkness I still close my eyes.
No CPU bumps, nothing.
'Cause I still feel the darkness inside. And I can feel your touch though you're not here. My sadness starts to
And yes, you can automate it. I can even tie it to a button on one of my controllers. Let's actually try this. You ready? So I'm going to move this. You can see up here it says pitch. I'm going to move one of the knobs on my Atom. I am going to link it up. And there it goes. How cool is that? Very cool. All right, I don't want to do that. But it's awesome. It really, to me, I think it's the most useful out of all of the mix effects in some ways. The CTC one, like Billy says, it's unmatched. It is really just a classic go-to. But if you're going to purchase any of the other ones, I don't know if they sell them together or you buy them independently. I mean, if you can actually make a single purchase and get all of the rest of the mix effects, that'd be great. Maybe Johnny knows, but I'm not sure. All right, Steve Mann says, I concur. Only two I really use are the limiter and maybe some of the compression. Yep. Let's see. Kane Rock is here. Is that Rob Kane? Good to see ya. He says the Porta Studio cassette is really nice. I wish it did have an option to slow the tape speed. Yes, I agree. I'd like to be able to turn that off. Let's see. I'm going to click around here and see if there's automation. Is there anything here that I can... No. I mean, you can do it in the tempo track, so it's not impossible. But you can connect the tempo track to this, so that would be nice. That would be nice. All right, Steve Mann says, I wonder how much AI is used in the version 7. That is very smooth. Well, you know, it was actually just as smooth in version 6, and there really wasn't much talk about AI back in version 6. So I'm pretty sure that the mix effects weren't available in version 5. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. But very cool. I mean, all of this stuff is, to me, is just amazing. And I admit, I am a huge Studio One fanboy. So am I being objective? No. I am showing you what I like and what I like to use, and I'm showing you things that I've discovered. I am not a pro. Some people, you can't put me in a category like with Joe Gilder or anybody else from PreSonus because they know more of what's embedded in Studio One. I only share what I use, and I teach what I use. And usually for people, that's why I focus on beginners, because in many ways, there's a lot of features I have never used in Studio One. So I really only, share what I know and everything. So a lot of people say, oh, well, you should have known that. I had a discussion with a guy on the Studio One boards. What did it have to do with? I think, you know what, I don't remember, but it was something that he felt everybody should know, and as if to suggest, what kind of teacher are you? Oh, he said he feels sorry for the students that I teach because I don't know what this specific thing was, and I can't remember what it was. And it really kind of hit me a little bit, I was a little upset by it, because I'm just like, I felt like saying, do you know everything? But I kept it civil. And I said, I took that as an insult. And I said, if that's how you intended it, congratulations. But I don't claim to know everything. I'm not a Gregor. I'm not a Joe Gilder, or anybody like that. And, so, I've been doing this for many, many years. I've been sharing and teaching with Studio One since 2010. So I try to approach everything from a beginner's point of view. And there is a lot I don't know. But things like the mix effects and using the MIDI and tracking and stuff, that's stuff that I'm more familiar with because I've been doing it long before the DAW. All right, let's see. Billy Morgan says, as Johnny said, the mix effects in version 5 and 6. Okay, they are in both. That is good to know. The mix effect engine effects were new in 5.6. Got it. If I recall correctly, I think you're right. I think it was just at the tail end of version 5, and then it went into version 6. Well, that's it for me, folks. I hope you guys learned something. I hope some of the information here was useful. It is so fun to play with this stuff. I would definitely, if you're going to play around with stuff as deep as I did, some of the bussing and taking a mix that I've always been happy with and kind of messing with it, it's always a good idea to play with this stuff, with a copy of the original song. It's just safer. So just do a save as, and save it with the same song title, and then in parentheses put screwing around, just something like that, so that if you really wreck something, you can go back to the version that sounded good. And like I said, all you have to do is a save as, because anything that you do here does not affect any of your other saves. Oh, and Billy Morgan with the $10 donation. Thank you. Appreciate it. He says, keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate that. All right, cool. That's going to be it for me today. I think my voice is just about to pop off. Oh, it's fun. All right, so please, if you're watching this on playback, let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you want me to do videos on this, if you want me to do a full video on a particular mix effect, that you want me to kind of go through some of the presets and see what they all do, I'd be happy to do that. But definitely, I love to start a discussion in the comments area. If you've got questions, comments, you loved it, you hated it, tell me why if you hated it, and tell me what I can do better. All right? I really appreciate it, and I will see everybody in the next live stream.